Well, hello. This is Rochelle, and welcome to my channel. This printable was just so beautiful for me that I had to use it again, and I had enough left over to do that. And I was reading, like I said, through the devotional written by Vanessa Bennett, and you can pick up this specific devotional and printable by joining the Soul Sisters Bible Journaling group on Facebook. They are very active. They've got a monthly devotional and a printables that go with it, some lives that correspond with it, and it's just such a pleasure having word-based teaching. So I printed my printable on vellum and on cardstock so that I had the option of kind of like a melt into your page element and that extra kind of dimension of the white printed paper ones. I'm saying vellum, it's not vellum. I use trace paper. I think I have the 90 GSM option here, and I just put it through my Zion sticker maker to make it stickers. With the big piece, I'm just going to use some glue on the spots where I'm going to put clear, white cardstock printed elements over. I'm using a stencil by Creative Retreat. This is one of my favorites, and I'm going to add another leaf one, also from Creative Retreat in the end, and really just creating a little background element for that picture that's going to be stuck down to the center there. And I'm using a mixture of the Versa Magic chalk ink. I think it's a chalk ink. I'm using a mixture of that with some makeup blending sponges and just sponging it through the stencil. This is the gelato. I use either the bergamot or olive. I love both those colors. They're kind of my go-to for leaves and things like that. And then I'm just going to be scribbling a little bit and whatever's left over, using that as splatters. Of course, there has to be splatters. I do want to remind you of the verse, and I'm actually going to read to you from Psalm 32 verse 8. I'm going to start at verse 8, and it says, I will instruct you and teach you in the way that you should go. I will guide you with my eye. Do not be like the horse or like the mule, which have no understanding, which must be harnessed with bit and bridle, else they will not come near you. And then it goes on in verse 10 and 11, it says, many sorrows shall be to the wicked, but he who trusts in the Lord, mercy shall surround them. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, ye righteous, and shout for joy, all you upright in heart. And so, yeah, just really laying these elements down, very much identified with this kind of printable or this imagery that is used here in this piece of scripture. As I know now with my daughter doing horse riding, that, a horse needs to have that guidance, and likewise, if we are not instructed, we are like that. We are like a horse without a bridle, and we need to be instructed. So yes, I definitely recognize that in my own life. If I spend a few days without doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I feel myself get out of line. It's slow and subtle, and then all of a sudden kind of thing, you realize, oh my word, things are going wrong. My emotions are taking over. I am not allowing the Lord to come near me and do the things that he's doing in my life through that relationship, that connection, that constant connection. And isn't it the same with pretty much all of the relationships we have? If we I want to say don't connect, just that little 15 minutes a day connection, if we don't connect daily, especially as women, we tend to feel the rejection and the loneliness so much quicker. So we have to make an effort to connect daily, and to make sure that our children connect daily, so that they don't go through that either, where they feel like they're not or they're alone and they're far and they won't come to the Lord. This really is such a beautiful printable, and I'm just using the little scribble method that Leon taught me, and scribbling around the pieces of scripture, and then cutting it out, and that way it doesn't have to be perfectly straight or anything like that, and it gives you a bit of a guideline, and it has that messy look and still allows you to cut without your perfectionistic tendencies. I did use some chipboard. I cut it through with my blade, so that it's half the thickness, if that makes sense, just so that it doesn't add too much bulk to my Bible. I want to still be able to do a few more pages in this Psalter that I'm working in. And then I'm going to just be using some color to color in those leaves, and I'm just scribbling the GoldFaber Aqua dual brush watercolor markers. I think that's what they're called, dual markers. Okay, so there, GoldFaber Aqua dual markers, and I'm just scribbling that on that same palette and picking it up with my brush and coloring in my leaves, and they kind of melt into the page, and I just absolutely love this layout and how it came out in the end. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here on the channel. Go check out this devotional, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.